Load up 4 in the rear, will you? Roger, sir. Loading 4.
I've got your flares in sight now, Blind Bat. I'm going to start down.
Roger, roger, and you should be able to see the buildings and stuff like that, just as the forward makes the bend in the river there, looks like.
We're picking up some ground fire down there, it looks like. I'm going to have to change my run-in heading. I'll still turn left here and keep clear of you.
The word hero has been so misapplied in recent history that its true meaning has become lost. Victims are people who unfortunately find themselves in harm's way. Heroes are men and women who put themselves in harm's way in order to protect a higher ideal. James Bond Stockdale is a true hero, a man who put himself in harm's way, was captured, and then from behind enemy walls, was able to lead his men and return home. Stockdale found strength and aid from his wife, but from within found the ability to stay alive through awful torture and solitary confinement. True heroes survive and inspire others to follow suit, as James Stockdale did. James Bond Stockdale was born on December 23, 1923. Raised in Abingdon, Illinois, young James was an achiever from the beginning. He lettered in football, basketball, and track, and graduated second in his high school class. In 1943, the young Midwesterner became Midshipman Stockdale after his appointment to the Naval Academy. His time at Annapolis changed his life in more ways than one. It was there he met Sybil.
The chemistry teacher at St. Catherine's School was engaged to a midshipman at the Naval Academy, and she asked me and my roommate to go on a blind date to the Naval Academy, which we did, and Midshipman Stockdale was my date. He'd had a bad experience a couple of weeks before, and so he told Ann Rogers, was her name, he told Ann's fiance that he wouldn't sign up for this blind date unless he could look the two girls over first and decide which one he wanted to have as a date. Of course, he didn't know that my roommate was 6 feet tall, and so probably we got together because of height, and I did have a car, so I've always thought maybe we got together because of my height and the fact that I had a car.
She had a car. That was one of the amazing things. In 1946, World War II was just over, and you know, she had this old convertible coupe, so that was a real plus. And she would drive up a couple of times before I graduated.
The handsome midshipman made a big impression on the young co-ed.
I was walking downtown with my roommate's sister, who was also a teacher at the school. And she was asking me about the weekend, and she said, "Did you like him?" And I said, "I think I've met the man I want to marry." She said, "Oh, God," she said, "how can you say a thing like that?" She said, "You've just met him. I can't imagine how you could say such an irresponsible thing." And I said, "Well, I don't know whether it's going to work out or not, but I think he's the one I'd like to marry if I can pull it off."
After Midshipman Stockdale became Ensign Stockdale, Sybil pulled it off.
She was at the graduation. It was not time to be married or anything like that yet, but within a year after that, we got married at her home in Connecticut.
That same year, Stockdale reported to Pensacola, Florida for flight training. Proving to be a very efficient pilot, Stockdale flew almost every type of aircraft in the arsenal. Longing for a greater challenge, Stockdale applied to the test pilot school located in Patuxent River, Maryland in 1954. He was one of 17 accepted, along with John Glenn. While at Patuxent, James Stockdale proved to be the best of the best. He logged over 1,000 hours in a F-8U Crusader, which was the Navy's most prolific new fighter. Accolades would follow, and soon Stockdale would be in charge of his own squadron. And the squadron was about to go to war. By midsummer 1964, events were taking place in the Gulf of Tonkin that would lead to the first open clash between U.S. and North Vietnamese forces. In late July, the destroyer USS Maddox was on patrol in the Gulf, gathering intelligence, becoming the object of interest by communists in North Vietnam. From July 31st to August 1st, the Maddox cruised unfettered along a predetermined route off the North Vietnamese coast. In the early morning hours of August 2nd, the crew learned that a possible attack could take place from the communists. The attack by 3 North Vietnamese P-4 torpedo boats, PT boats, materialized shortly after 4 p.m. on August 2nd. The Maddox fired off 3 warning volleys and then opened fire with all guns in the direction of the attack. Four F-8 Crusaders, led by Commander James B. Stockdale from the aircraft carrier USS Ticonderoga, also took part in the skirmish. The result of the 20-minute affair saw 1 gunboat sunk and another crippled. The Maddox, ordered out of the Gulf after the incident concluded, was hit by 1 14.5mm shell. On August 3rd, the Maddox, accompanied by the destroyer USS C. Turner Joy, received instructions to re-enter the Gulf and resume patrol. The USS Constellation was ordered to join the Ticonderoga, stationed at the mouth of the Gulf in the South China Sea. The 2 destroyers cruised without incident, and in the daylight hours of August 4th, moved to the middle of the Gulf. Parallel to the movements of the C. Turner Joy and Maddox, South Vietnamese gunboats launched attacks on several North Vietnamese radar installations. The North Vietnamese believed the U.S. destroyers were connected with these strikes. At 8:41 p.m. on August 4th, both destroyers reportedly picked up fast approaching contacts on their radars.